Hey guys, it's Joette with Balloon Coach, and today is September 25th, 2022, as we record this. And this is our seventh wrap up bonus class that I did for September of 2022. As a thank you for all the people who've been following and supporting me, and some of the people who are brand new to knowing about Balloon Coach, because we are celebrating 7 years of Balloon Coach online training. So, super excited about that, and wanted to just give you guys some knowledge and tips and some of the top topics that people ask me about. And so tonight's class is on time management. And we're going to talk about how to add one new habit at a time to help you make the most of every day, what time blocking is and how it can make you more efficient and getting the things that you need done for your business and your personal life. And then 3 steps to reduce distractions to complete the most important task. So these are topics that I've talked about for years. These are things that I have taken classes on, and this is definitely something where I am still having to improve. All right. I think that every day is an opportunity for us to become more efficient and to make better use of our time. And I think we all go through seasons where sometimes we're rocking it and we're doing great. And then other times we are just on this distraction where we're on the long journey. And basically, what I look about time management is kind of like getting on a jet plane and getting from where you are to where you want to go quickly. Where when we don't have time blocking and we don't put things on a schedule, we're more on a lazy trail journey, going on a road trip through all the back roads, right? So, what I think about is when we use time management skills and we use time blocking and we write things down and then put a plan in place and follow that plan, it allows us to achieve more quicker. Where if we don't write things down, if we don't block out and schedule our time, we're going to take a slower route to where we want to go. And I talk about it often from this really cool award that I got from Metallic. This is called the Inspire Award. And on the award, it says that success is a journey, not a destination. All right. Success is a journey, not a destination. And the thing is that when you are having your success plan for your life and your business, you get to choose what that journey looks like. And you might have goals that you want to just skyrocket your business and you want to take off and go full forward, right? Other times people are like, you know what? I'm just kind of enjoying this. I just want it to be a long process. I'm not in a hurry. So you get to choose. That's the other thing. I really want to make sure you guys understand what time management, you get to choose what your day looks like. You get to choose what your future looks like based on the choices that we make today. And so, again, I am still one of those people that some days I rock it and sometimes I don't. But I'm going to give you the tools that I have learned that have helped me become more efficient and to get more things done. So feel free to ask questions along the way. So grab your pen to write just a couple of things down. We all get the same 24 hours in a day, but we get more done when we schedule our time. So right now, those of you who are on live or those who are watching me later on as a replay, feel free to send me an email, joette@ballooncoach.com, or chat in our Facebook groups. Right now, for those of you who are online with us, please tell me if you use a paper calendar or if you use a computer calendar or both. So like with me, I have Google Calendar on my computer and on my phone. So when I have an appointment come up, I automatically go right here into my phone or right onto my computer and I add that event to my calendar. And then I also block out the time before and after that I might need for travel if it's an actually in-person event. I put my personal things in here. I put my business things in it. But for a long time, I really was married to having a paper calendar. And I used to always have things in that. So we've got one person who's got a paper planner. We've got a couple that have Google Calendar. So some people are saying both. So yeah, the thing is that I want you to, whatever you have, do one really well. Okay. If you do both, sometimes it's a struggle to get things back and forth, but I really encourage for you to explore Google Calendar if you've not used it before, because one of the things that's nice about it, as you grow your team, you can share pieces of that Google Calendar with other people, Or one of the things that I can do is like when I have a meeting with somebody on Zoom, I can do a calendar invite. I can send them that, hey, I want to have this meeting with you on this date at this time. They can say, yes, I want to be at that event. And then they get that put right onto their calendar. So it makes it really nice because then you also get those reminders on your phone and I'll say, hey, you've got something going on in an hour. Hey, something's about to start. And so that's the one thing that I do like about having my Google Calendar on my phone is that I do get those reminders and things coming up, but sometimes I do enjoy having things on paper. So the number one thing is just have some type of system that you use. What you're seeing on the right hand side of here is part of my Thrive Guide in our Balloon Boss Mastermind program. The Thrive Guide was created to help people understand the power of time blocking and kind of a daily ritual that can be a habit that you can get in, um, put a habit in place that helps your day start off great. So right now, what I'd love to know is what habit do you currently have when you first wake up? All right. Are you a person that goes for your phone and looks at your phone before you get out of bed? Do you run to the bathroom first thing? Do you brush your teeth every day when you first wake up? Is the first thing you do in the wake up go get a cup of coffee, a glass of water? Are you one of those people who gets up and goes and exercises first thing in the morning? Do you meditate? Right now, what is your habit? The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? I'd love for you to share it in the chat. What's that first thing that you do in the morning that's a habit for you? So we've got shower, somebody likes to stretch. All right. One of the things that I encourage people to look at as a habit is to have a gratitude journal. All right. And that each morning when you first wake up, write down what you are most grateful for. And what this allows you to do is to start your day on a positive note because so many times we have 110 things that we need to get done. And that if something is not going well, some negativity can come into our lives and we can get really down on things. So if you have the ability in your schedule to build in just an extra 5 minutes, one great habit that you can add is that when you wake up in the morning, you can have a gratitude journal. Or some people just will have that gratitude moment while they're taking the shower and think about the things that they are blessed by. And again, when we're like, oh my gosh, we're struggling for money, instead of being like, oh no, I'm worried about the bills not coming in or it's going to rain today, you can go, oh, it's raining out today. Oh, I'm thankful that it's raining out today because now my grass won't die, right? Or I'm thankful that I have my own business where can go and seek new opportunities to make money. So kind of like forming things for things to be grateful. I'm grateful that I slept in a house with electricity last night. Sometimes we forget about those things that are seem basic to us, but that other people don't have and don't experience. So just one of those things that I really encourage people to do is a habit that you can put in if you see that a lot of times your life is really hectic and negative. If you can start your morning with it, what I'm grateful for, that's a habit that you can work on adding in. Another habit is every night before you go to bed, write out your plan for the next day. So what that allows you to do is, again, if you have the Thrive Guide, if you're a part of Balloon Boss Mastermind, you go into your dashboard at BalloonCoach.com, you go over to Thrive Guide and you can print it out or you can just use it as an editable template on Canva if you're a person that likes to go paperless. And then what you do is you look at your day. Are you a person that's still asleep at 5 in the morning or is that when you get up? I'm not saying you have to fill every single minute of your day, but what it allows you to do is to put down the important things. Like if you have to take your kid to school every morning at 7 and then you pick them up every day at 3, then you know those are those 2 time periods where you're traveling to school to get your kid or pick them up. And then if you're like, oh, I'm always in the balloon store at 9 a.m., then you would put that in, right? Travel to the store. Each night when you go to sleep, if you have an idea of what tomorrow is going to look like and you've got it planned out, it allows you to get more sleep because you're not going to bed going, oh my goodness, what did I forget about? What am I supposed to do tomorrow morning? Because you'll have already had your plan written down. And another tool that I often do is in my phone, I go to the alarm. So how many people here set an alarm to wake up off your phone? The other thing you can do is you can go and you can set up your appointments. So what I can do is like if I know that I want to have had my shower by a certain time, I'll type that time into there because I'm one of those people that I'm notorious about sometimes being bad about sitting at my computer and working on things and forgetting that I need to get a shower and be ready for a meeting at a certain time because I don't have a child at home anymore. She's 22. She's in college. Um, but what I would suggest you doing is go ahead and set those alarms the night before you go to bed so you know you've got that day set up. Like if you know that you've got to leave for a delivery at a certain time, like I've got to be on the road by 9 a.m. for a delivery, which means I have to pack the van at 8:30, which means I need to leave my house at 8. You can set those alarms up in your phone in advance with pack, leave, get on the road. You can put those things down, or when your body when you know that you've got to go see somebody or have a meeting with a client, you go ahead and say, okay, that client is 30 minutes away. So I have to leave at 2 o'clock for our 2:30 appointment. And you can put all of those things as alarms in your phone ahead of time and be done with it. Or if you're a person that really likes to write it in paper, you can put everything down on paper that you're needing to do. The other thing that helps with planning out your day and scheduling things is knowing what the top 3 things are that you need to get done for that day. All right. What are the top 3 things? Because sometimes what happens is we put 40 different things and that's going to overwhelm us. So the top 3 things that we need to do, and then to dos are those things like pick up the laundry, get groceries, have to get the kids from school. Those are to dos. Those are like just things that have to happen. But like those action steps are those things that are going to help your business grow or help you meet one of the goals that you have. And then a couple things that help people sometimes, but they don't have to track it, is that sometimes just being able to track how many phone calls you've got going out, your emails, your social media, or meetings, these kind of things are just tracking tips that can help you out, but not something that you absolutely have to do. So, bottom line is when we talk about what are things that we can do to make better use of our time, is if we plan out what we're doing tomorrow before we go bed tonight. All right. Everybody with me on that? So that first thing that we're writing down is one way to be more efficient is to write a plan in advance the night before we go to bed. Some people that stresses them out, so then do it first thing in the morning. Build up your routine that you get up in the morning, have something that you're grateful for, and then fill out your calendar for the day. For some people, they prefer to do it that way, and that is an option. When we talk about time blocking, sometimes it freaks people out to see all of their days scheduled and they're like, oh my gosh, there's a lot I got to get done. So I want to remind you that time blocking allows you to reward yourself with activities that you enjoy and schedule those things that you enjoy between the tasks that you have to complete. So I know in our Balloon Boss Mastermind program the other day, several people were talking about that they, as an adults, have been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, and that they realize that they've been scattered with their thoughts a lot, or they feel like they go to do something and then they never get it done. And so one of the things with me in my background is my husband and I actually used to work with adults and kids with attention deficit disorder. One of the things that I've understood over the years is the most important thing is for you to know how long you can focus on one task and get it done. So time yourself, set a stopwatch. When you go to do something, set a stopwatch and just do that activity that you're supposed to be doing. And then when you see yourself get distracted and going in a different direction, look down at the stopwatch. Is it that you have 15 minutes that you were able to focus? Was it 20 minutes? Was it 30 minutes? How long do you personally be able to focus on a task? And then that's where you start at. All right. So time blocking is looking at your schedule and saying, you know what? When I have a big task to complete, I know I can only focus for 15 minutes. So I'm going to schedule it for 15 minutes from 9 to 9:15. And then my alarm's going to go off at 9:15. And I'm going to give myself a 5-minute break to go walk around the house or walk around the office, get a drink of water, and then I'll go back to my task. Or, you know what, I'm going to go walk outside for a second and get a brush of fresh air, and then I'm going to walk back inside and then go back to your task for 15 minutes. All right. What that allows you to do is to go ahead and go, hey, I know my body. I know that I can only focus for a certain amount of time. So I'm not going to try to force myself and then be just totally distracted and totally off task. I'm going to set things up that work for me. All right. So I want to make sure you understand that you want to find out for yourself what you can do and then make those time blocks what's going to work for you. And so for some people it might be, you know what, I can't sit at a desk, but I need to have a standing desk so I can walk in place while I'm working on my computer, or that I can stretch my legs, or I need to be on a bouncy ball when I'm at my desk so I can have a little bit of movement. There are things like that that you can do that can help increase the amount of time you can spend getting your computer work or doing the phone or doing other tasks that you need to do. All right. So the bottom line is with time blocking, it's setting into your day, your week, or your month the most important tasks that you need to complete. And so if there's something that you're like, okay, I'm going to schedule my social media post the first Monday of every month, then you put that into your calendar and then that becomes a routine. And by doing it over and over again, and every week on Monday, you schedule out your social media post, then you can reward yourself after doing that. Is it that, hey, you know what? After I do that for 4 months straight, I'm going to go get my nails done, or I'm going to reward myself with a nice meal out with my family. Like, set up rewards for yourself. It could be that, you know what? I'm going to schedule my days out, and after I do it for a month, I'm going to go out and have a nice lunch with one of my friends, because now you're going to have more time to go out and do something that you enjoy because you're getting your task done in a short period of time. All right. So guys, if you have questions as we go on, please go ahead and ask in the chat. All right. So I wanted to promise that we talk about how to remove distractions. 3 tips to reduce distractions. All right. Number 1, have visual reminders of what you're going to do. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten while you're there? I'm over 50. It happens to me. Have you ever started to go onto your computer to do something and you don't remember what file you're looking for? So by having things written down and have that list of what you're doing, or also if you have like a vision board or your goals set up about what you're doing with your business, it helps remind you why you're going through some of the tough stuff by knowing what your goal is and what the end thing is that you want. So this one's hard for people. Put your phone away. There are some days where I take my phone out of my office and I go put it in the living room so that I can't even hear it vibrate for a certain amount of time. And then I set the alarm on it. Like if I know I'm going to work on a task for an hour, I'm a person that I can sit on a computer for 4 hours straight to get something done. But I'll get lost in it. And sometimes it'll be the end of the day and I'll realize I hadn't moved. So what I've learned to do is set my alarm. And if it's something where it's a day where I know I'm going to want to try to be distracted, I'll actually move it out of my office. Other times I'll move it to a shelf where I can't touch it. The other thing you can do is you can actually turn off the notifications on your computer or your phone so that you don't get notifications from Facebook. You don't get every time somebody has sent you an email. All right. And so what you do is in your schedule, you say, okay, from at 9 o'clock every day is when I answer emails, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that you don't answer them in between that time. And so that way you're not worried and being interrupted by things, that you set a certain time that you're going to do that. So anybody freaking out when I'm telling you to take your phone and turn off notifications so that you can get something done? Does that give you the jitters that you would be away from your phone for a moment? Now, if you're somebody who's running a crew and have people out doing jobs, at some point, what you may want to do is have it where there's somebody else that can answer questions and help people. As you grow your business, have a manager that can handle situations for you. Or if you're really busy with a lot of incoming phone calls and emails from your clients where you don't want to ever not answer their call, then find somebody else that can be a virtual assistant or a person who's on your team that can answer those phone calls or that can send out those emails. The other thing is if you have a customer management system in place, that allows for an auto email to go out. Thank you so much for your information. We'll get back with you soon. So you don't have to feel like you have to answer every single phone call or every single email as soon as it comes in. If you set some other systems in place to be able to help those people get what they need. So another thing, if you say, I don't want to not be able to answer my phone, is if it's an incoming client, it says, thank you so much for your call. We're out helping other clients right now. Please go to our website, partypeopleevents.com, fill out our contact form, and we'll be glad to get with you shortly to help you have a memorable event. Now what you've done is you've set up a system so that your client knows that they're important to you and that you're going to get with them rather than just totally ignoring that email. And then the third thing that you can do to help you reduce distractions is reward yourself by setting an alarm for the end of the time. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I'm going to not have distractions. And again, make it 15 minutes, make it 30 minutes, make it an hour, whatever you feel most comfortable that you can do. Have your alarm set to go off at that period of time, and then reward yourself with whatever task you need at that point. Is it that you go for a walk around the block? Is it that you go have a nice cup of tea? Is it that you get to read a book for a minute or watch something on TV at a certain time of day? So rewarding yourself for carving out the time that you need is one of the ways to help you avoid the distractions and get the things done that you have to do. All right. So when you're working on putting new habits into place, when I'm saying, hey, I want you to time block things out and put things in your calendar, and I want you to start the day with something that you're grateful for, and I want you to list out the tips. Don't try to do it all at once. All right. Set a plan in place and do one step at a time. Add one of these things to your schedule, but making sure that you know what your goal is for your business and your life, what it is that you're wanting to make, and creating those SMART goals and plans that we talk about in Mastermind all the time. And I've talked about in other trainings in the past. And then take action in what you're doing and saying, I'm going to be responsible that my current action step is that I'm going to write things down on my calendar. I'm going to block out the most important tasks that I have to do during the day so I can make sure that these things that have to happen for my business do. And then stick to those new routines one thing at a time. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with doing everything that you thought that you should have done in the last year and haven't in 1 week. Do one step at a time, putting that into your schedule and your routine so it becomes part of your daily habits. Usually it takes about 30 to 60 days for something to kind of get ingrained, and then you can add something else in. But the bottom line is just taking that one step at a time. So what I want to check with is I wanted to make this really simple and not super, super hard and complex, because I've seen some systems out there that just make it really confusing for people and it makes it too hard. The bottom line is time blocking is putting the things that are most important to get done. And then if there's something that you keep putting off, that probably means that you have a fear, that there's some fear that you're not doing that action step because you're worried about something with it. That's why you're procrastinating on it or not doing it. And so I have found that those things that you keep putting off are the most important things to put back into your schedule. So guys, whoever has a question on time blocking, eliminating distractions, let me know. Questions, type them in or open up your microphone. All right. Is there somebody here that feels that they rock their time management? They're like, you know what? I get so much done in a day. I am so efficient. I am always on fire. So let me know if you feel like you're pretty efficient right now. So like you're a 10 at time management, or do you think like, ooh, I'm not so great with time management. I'm a 5, or like time management is not my thing at all. And I just kind of go with the flow. I'm like at a 2. I'd love for you guys to type in your number in the chat for those of you who are online. So the other thing that I want to let you guys know is if you want help in your time blocking, one of the things that we do is in Balloon Boss Mastermind, you're invited to be that part of that program. If you're not, is the first Monday of every month, we get together and we talk about our goals. And then we have now set it up that on Mondays at noon and Tuesdays at 10, we get together. And one is about talking about our goals for the week. And the other one is on Tuesdays about actions. What's one step we're going to get together, go do during this time, just so somebody's there accountable and helping you out. At Balloon Boss Summit, it's a great time to sit around the table and talk to other people about how they are more efficient with their time. And then also where you live, check online for SCORE, SCORE.org. SCORE.org is made of business professionals in your area that often want to give back to the business community. And they often offer classes on time management, either online or in person. And so that's another way for you to have some excellent support as you go through things. So I appreciate you all being on today. And I would love to answer other questions that people have. I'm going to check and see if a couple of them have to do with our current topic. And then what I'll do is, as a bonus for the people who are on live with me, I'll stop the recording in just a minute for us to go ahead and talk about other things. So the day before something is due is my time management rocks. Up until that point, I'm awful. Yeah, right? So many times we do really well with deadlines. So if you're a person that knows that you do well with deadlines, one thing you can do is be sneaky and bump the deadline up and say, you know what, instead of this being due on Monday, it's actually due on Friday. And then in that way, you're bumping up that timeline so you're not having that last minute crunch. Um, some days I'm a 2 and sometimes I'm an 8, right? And I think that's the thing, is giving yourself grace. Sometimes we beat ourselves up, and just know that we're going to go through ebbs and flows, but the more that we can get into a routine of writing things down in advance, preparing ourselves, the more efficient we're going to be that next day. So one of the folks on tonight has a full-time outside of balloons, and so it's super important to have time management. And they try to set goals for what they want to do during the week and take it day by day based on what they need to do. That's awesome. Another person that has a full-time job and that has 2 kids, they have to be really organized or they won't be able to sleep. Yeah. So here's the thing, the busier you are, the more clients that you have as a business, the more responsibilities you have of balancing a balloon business, possibly another full-time or part-time job, and a family, the more important having that calendar is. So I encourage you that try out the Google Calendar if you haven't yet, to start dipping your toes in the electronic calendars and how wonderful they can be. But if you love that paper calendar, then definitely do that. But the bottom line is writing things down so that you can set that plan in place, and then setting alarms as you go. So guys, I've had a great time doing these bonus classes in September. If you're a part of my mastermind program, these are going to be in our dashboard. For those of you outside of Mastermind, they will be up in my YouTube channel. And when you have other questions for me about business building, you can always email me, Joette@BalloonCoach.com, or hang out with us in our public groups, Balloon Coach Community and Balloon Business Startup with Balloon Coach, if you're not currently in my Balloon Boss Mastermind program. I invite you guys to come hang out with us in Summit at November in Orlando. It is an amazing time to be around the table with other people and put your business plan in place. Or if you want that online support ongoing, just go to BalloonCoach.com and click on Balloon Boss Mastermind. I am going to go ahead now and allow our other people who are on to talk and dive deeper into this for the people who don't feel comfortable being on the recording. Again, email me at Joette@BalloonCoach.com if you have other questions, if you're watching this as the replay.